Hi, I'm Misa Ramirez, and this is Books on the House. Today we're talking with young adult author Suzanne Crowley, author of The Stolen One, which is our featured book this week. Hi, Suzanne. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, Misa. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
Well, I'm thrilled to be featuring your book this week, and we have had such a great response already. It just went live last night, and there have been so many visits to the site and so many entrants already. So,
Oh,
and
great.
your book is quite popular.
Oh, great.
Can you
Thank
tell us
you.
a little bit about The Stolen One? Give us a little background.
Well, it's about a 16-year-old girl. My cat just jumped in my lap.
Hi, cutie cutie. That's okay.
um, it's about a 16-year-old girl that's been raised in the country. Her name is Kat, and it's set in 1600s well, actually 1500s in England, 16th century. And her foster mother dies, and she discovers a beautiful necklace, and she realizes she might be related to royalty. So she goes to London to find out who she is and ends up in Queen Elizabeth's court. And it's got a lot of romance, mystery, intrigue, a lot of really lush detail of the era. I did a lot of research on the Queen's wardrobe. So anyway, it's a fun read.
Well, I was going to ask you. So, how long did it take you, and what type of research did you do? Just a lot of reading and.
Um, actually, I'm supposedly distantly related to Lady Jane Grey, who was the tragic queen of 9 days, was only on the throne for 9 days before she was thrown off and executed. And growing up with that legend, I've just always been totally mesmerized by the Tudor era.
Hmm.
And so I'd already read many, many books through the years when I decided to write this book. But I still had to do a lot of research on Queen Elizabeth. And but I also had a deadline, so I had to start writing. And as I was writing, I had books coming from England, and I would take a day aside and read the book and then insert some of that detail. So I get asked that a lot. When should I stop the research and start writing? You can't hide behind the research forever. You've got to just start writing, and you can always go back and add the detail that you need.
Yeah, that's good advice. So, you actually had a contract for the book before it was finished, then?
Yes, I had a two-book contract. I got a two-book contract when I got my first book accepted, and kind of knew I was going to be writing this historical one. Um, but and it was kind of interesting. I had 4 months to write the first draft of the second book. I knew about the deadline for a long time, but they kept me busy on the first book, and I'm not very good about working on two projects at the same time. So it ended up when the first book came out, August 27th, I started the rough draft of the second book September 1st, I think, when my kids went back to school, and I was in a total panic. But
Wow.
it got done.
Yeah, that's impressive. 4 months. And I
Well,
see you're wearing a necklace. Can you tell us about that
yes.
necklace?
Yes, there's a really neat story behind the necklace. A week before the photo shoot, they really let me in on a lot of the details for the photo shoot of this book. I've got it right here. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, put it up
So,
a little bit closer.
okay.
Yeah, it's a beautiful cover.
It's a gorgeous cover. It reminds me kind of an old master painting and also of like a Vogue photo shoot. They hired a fashion photographer, Chris Borgman, and I got to help pick out the model and the dress. Although they made the ultimate decision, I got to put my 2 cents in.
Hmm.
And a week before the photo shoot, they didn't have a necklace yet. And I was watching the last episode of The Tudors, which I love that show. And I was Googling the Tudors. I just wanted to know where they got their costumes, their jewelry. And it mentioned a site called Sapphire and Sage. This woman makes reproduction Renaissance jewelry, and she had done some of the jewelry for a photo shoot for the Tudors, I think in InStyle magazine. And there was a necklace on her site that was absolutely perfect.
Hmm.
Because the necklace is actually based on a real necklace in history, so it needed to look like that necklace.
Hmm. And it did, and you just happened to see one that really looked like the necklace?
Yes,
Wow.
exactly. And so I emailed my editor and they contacted the artist and she made one up quickly, Federal Expressed it, and it got there the night before the photo shoot. And then after, my editor sent me the necklace. And so it's been a lot of fun to wear it to book signings and events.
Yeah.
Even though it's just costume, it just feels really wonderful to have it.
Well, that's such a neat story to go along with the whole book process, to know that, you know, they do those little go take those extra steps to make it really special, and to do something that really fits the book.
Oh yeah, I saw an interview of the photographer of the cover for a website, and he really spent a long time thinking about it and thinking of the themes of the book and just how she would be posed would signify that she was leaving home. I mean, they really put a lot of thought into it. And she's holding a pear, and there's a pear imagery through the book, and that was his wife's idea, apparently, to have her hold the pear. And since then, I've been collecting pears, and everyone gives me pears. So I've got a whole bunch of pears all over the house, but it's a lot of fun.
Oh, that's neat. Can you tell us what you're working on next?
Well, I'm doing research again for a book set in Venice in the 1750s, another young adult book. It's got a romance. It's actually based on a real couple. But in the meantime, I just suddenly got inspired to write a supernatural sort of dystopian book. And I started it about 6 weeks ago, and I'm about 2/3 of the way through a first draft.
Wow. That's impressive. Very fast.
So it's got kind of based on, they're like a puritanical society, kind of like the Pilgrims. So I'm doing a little research on the Pilgrims, but it's totally made up.
Well, it sounds exciting. I can't wait to read it and hope that you'll come back to Books on the House.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much, and good luck with everything, Suzanne. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Misa. Thanks for having me.
Bye.
Bye.